Alright, so I made it up again. This time I'm up, well, I'm also up in the Uinta Mountains. This time just off the Mirror Lake Highway. And I'm just hiking up some unknown trail. There's supposedly going to be a lake up there. I ran across a couple people who went up a little ways. I guess we'll see. It's just another adventure into the unknown. Some good pine and forest this time. Alright, so I'm about a mile up and I thought I was walking away from the creek that I saw on a map earlier, but I was actually walking towards it. And I'm really happy to see this because I realized I only brought up a quart of water with me. Total rookie mistake. Just thinking I was gonna find water right away, you know. And so I knew there was a stream up here somewhere. So I was kind of concerned, thought I might have to turn around after I exhausted my water and maybe go to a car campsite or something, but so this is great. Look at that. So I probably won't hike too much more. I'll find a couple trees to hang my hammock from and call it good. Well, I found a good area to string a hammock, I think. There's a spot nearby where I can put my ridge runner up. But unfortunately, after about a mile and a half uphill hiking, I realized that I forgot my pad. So I would be sleeping without any bottom insulation. And I'm worn out. I couldn't hike much more, so I can't go back and get it. So my option now is just to walk back to the Jeep and find a campsite. And there is one just a little ways up. I'm hoping it's open. If not, there are pull-outs where maybe I can find some room. We'll see. It's Memorial Day weekend. Alright, well, I made it back down to the Jeep. And I'm getting over the whole thing of the failed hiking trip, so I am ready to forge on and find another spot. It'll have to be by a river or in maybe this little campsite that's coming up where there might be some water. But either way, I need some water or I'll have to bug out, but I'm confident I'll find something. Let's do it. Alright, so I found a campground not too far up the way that has a stream running through it. And you do have to pay extra, but I'm okay with that. It's actually a pretty nice spot, lots of pine trees, underbrush is all cleared out. So I was able to set up my hammock just fine. It's actually a really nice spot. There's my hammock gear, top quilt, and little inflatable pillow. And this time around, instead of that terrible pad, inflatable pad, I have one of these closed cell foam pads from Walmart, so I should be just fine. Quite a spot, huh? Alright, well, I thought I would show you guys my little backpacker's cook kit here. My motivation for this was to keep it as relatively light as I could and keep it efficient. This pot is a Toke's 900 milliliter, 130 millimeter wide version. There's at least 2 Toke's pots of this size, if not 3. Well, this is the most efficient one because it's the shortest and fattest. So that's the one I bought. It does create a bit of a challenge, or did create a bit of a challenge when it comes to easily stowing away a windscreen. So I had to look around a little bit to find something. I was gonna just make one out of aluminum foil, but I don't like those. I'm not into it's kind of ghetto looking. So I actually ended up finding a short one. I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but I'll get to it. And I went with this little Vargo. It only weighs about 1.5 ounces. In fact, I think it might be like 1 1/3 ounces. And works pretty darn good. Just folds out. And I think it's 5 panels. I can get it open. There it is. And it just folds right down into the pot. It's great. And then to go with this, I have, of course, some matches, and then I have a lighter, mini lighter in my pocket. I have this homemade stove, which is based off, that I made, and it's based off the Zelf Starlight, only this one is big. It's 2.5 inches across, and it heats just about as fast as a Trangia stove and the ones that are similar to it. And then I use hardware cloth to build a really lightweight, very lightweight stand. I went with the thinner stuff because it's lighter. I know that the thicker stuff seems to be more common. So, you know, you just spray your alcohol in, and I have 2 2-ounce containers. In fact, I just found these online. Someone on, I think it was Ultralight Backpacking on Facebook pointed them out to me. But you just spray it as much as you want, and inside the stove I have fiberglass insulation covered by fiberglass fabric, and then the metal mesh that you see. And it just works like a wick. Works really well. Can't spill it. Bada bing, bada boom. And then I'm going to try this out. I just bought this a couple weeks ago. This is a GSI, I think it's called GSI Coffee Drip. So this will actually attach to a cup. Well, in this case, my very dirty GSI backpacker mug. And this will just ultimately, in fact, I haven't put this on before, so let me try this. There we go. And it's real light, so I don't mind packing it around. Goes something like that. Alright. Stick your coffee, regular coffee in the top, and then just pour your hot water over it. It's probably not 100% efficient, but it'll get the job done just fine. So that'll be fun to try in the morning. So, yeah. Thanks for taking a look at my kit with me. Alright, so I have my hammock and tarp all set up for the night in this amazing spot. It smells heavy of pine forest, wet pine forest like it should. What a spot. So that's in there, just swinging ready to go, man. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. At least I hope I do. I should be warm this time. And today is the first time I'm trying out some little titanium hooks that are made by Dutch Wear Gear. I don't know, let's see if that'll come in. Get my fingers behind it. No? Yeah, there we go. Those little things are about 1/2 inch long, but they're really strong. And again, they're made of titanium. So I put some loops on the corner tie-outs of the tarp. Gonna test it out, and it just loops right over that line. This is Dyneema line, which is like Spectra. It's a cordage that's stronger than Kevlar. It's amazing stuff. So, and then down here, I'm using MSR groundhog stakes, and there's a way to quickly kind of wrap it around and get it to hold itself by doubling over the line. And they hold really good, and it's a good quick system. Eventually I'm going to put some line tensioners on it, but the line, I haven't been able to figure out the line tensioners yet, so I'm going to have to hop online. And I used to figure this shiz out when I was a kid, you know. I'll have to hop online and watch somebody explain it to me in detail. Alright, let's go ahead and fire up some water for some noodles. So I was just kind of guessing how much alcohol I need. I shouldn't take too much. Oh, that'll be plenty. Comes out faster out of this new bottle than I expected. Alright, you can just see it firing up. Never done this on a perforated table before. I suppose there could be drafts coming up from underneath, but that's alright. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. See if we can see the flame there. Yep. It's going quite nicely. Woohoo! Well, I had to go down to the nearest creek that I knew of. All the water around here is marshy, and I didn't want to take any chances, so I went about 5 miles down the road and brought my Sawyer mini water filter with me and filtered, I don't know, a couple quarts of water. And then I have some more here in this smart water bottle that's direct from the creek. That'll push out and filter tomorrow, but probably would have been fine drinking that water straight, but better safe than sorry. And I'm boiling some more up for a late night drink, and then just to make sure it's purified good. You know what I'll bring with me to bed tonight, so. Oh man, I still can't believe I forgot to bring my pad up with me. It's having to find a campsite, but it's alright. I'm making it work, man. I wasn't going to give up, you know. So, finally down in the hammock, and it feels nice. I have some battery-powered Christmas lights strung along the bottom of my tarp. And you know what? I'm glad I bought them. It was like $6-7. I bought them, I think, this last winter, and I was using them in the truck for a while. But this is great, man. They don't weigh much. And I did have them packed for backpacking today. It really adds something, a certain amount of warmth and hominess to being out here. So, I don't know if you guys will be able to see me or not, but I'm sleeping the way I would have slept if I were by myself up in the hills and not car camping, because I want to test all my current gear. So we will see how this works out. Hopefully it'll be warm and won't end up in the Jeep again. Alright, well, just firing up my ghetto alcohol stove this morning for some oatmeal and a little coffee. I thought I'd try some of this Private Reserve toasted marshmallow hot chocolate with some real coffee this morning. See how that comes together. Yeah, I'm pretty tired if you can't tell. Zombie land. I woke up again about 3 AM last night. Cold. And again, it wasn't my top quilt, it was just my bottom insulation. I was feeling cold through the pad. And I think just coming out here already really tired, you know. My body doesn't have the energy to stay warm at night. I'm just guessing. But both last weekend and this weekend, it was around 3 when I had to kind of pull the plug and get into my Jeep. And I was actually colder in my Jeep than I was last weekend, despite it being a little bit warmer out. So I'm going to say it's probably mostly me at this point. But I still do need to get better bottom insulation, because I shouldn't be feeling any cold through it. So ultimately I might just need to get see what I mean? A down bottom quilt. There's one that's actually built for my hammock that just it's built just to the right specifications with and held on with thick rubber bands. Kind of interesting. Well, I can't think straight, so I'm shutting up now. Okay, my water's boiling already. Watch pot never boils, and I wasn't watching it, so there you go. Alright, see how this goes. I'm not sure how well this is gonna pour. Oh! And you're supposed to kind of just get it good and soaked, fill it up a little bit, and then let it sit. That's pretty cool. And then for almost no weight, you get real coffee in the morning. This is going to be way better than what I've been having. Sure. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, baby. Leave just enough for my oatmeal. Actually, you don't need quite that much. Get a little more in there. There we go. I'll just let that finish doing its thing and fire up some oatmeal here. Yep. That's perfect. It's gonna go down really good right now. Alright, well, I'm finally starting to wake up and feel energized. Yeah, that was good coffee. Well, it's the coffee I have at home, so I already knew it was good, but it's nice having the real deal this time. Makes all the difference. So I think it's worth carrying this little thing around and having to clean it up to have good coffee. And then this cocoa was fantastic in it. That was the first time I tried it. I guess the brand is just the Private Selection. And I think I picked it up at the Harmon's grocery store in West Valley, Utah. I think I saw it at Smith's Grocery as well, so it might be a national brand, I would guess. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. Now it's just time to put everything away and then get rolling. There's a lot of people going up the canyon, so I don't think the pass is open yet, but you never know. I'm gonna go check it out and at least have a little sightseeing tour when I can. So alright, so when I packed up my pack a couple nights ago, I figured I would start experimenting with just stuffing my down quilt and or sleeping bag into my backpack, just because I'm lazy and I do like the look that it gives when everything is in there and not so much compartmentalized. It just kind of fills out the whole bag, doesn't look as funky. And I guess that's just me. I'd rather not have that look, I guess. You know, it doesn't look like the pictures, you know. It's like when you go and buy a burger, you're disappointed after. But so yeah, I just stuff it in, make sure there's nothing dirty or bad in there that'll stab it or cut it. Shove it down, and then you're only shoving it into something one time instead of a stuff stack, and then putting it inside your pack and then trying to make everything fit. And now, as you can see, it really fills it out, and you have a good bed, because you want light stuff down at the bottom anyways. So you give yourself a nice bed to start with and build up to the top. Heavy stuff against the front, little lighter stuff against the back, and then I do the same thing with my jacket, you know, at the end, and then that's also one less thing I'm stuffing. So everything else go in, and then I'll put my shelter system on the top, and then my jacket, and then, you know, then I'll close it all up and I'll be ready to go. I just thought I'd show you guys a little bit about this campground. It's really soaked still from the big winter we had and the spring we've been having. As you can see, a lot of the campsites are caution taped off, and there's water running through the whole campsite. This one's completely washed out, and mine over there is actually pretty dry. It's a great spot for hammocks. You have to kind of be careful where you walk. But I'm going to remember this place. Trees everywhere for hanging up hammocks. You could get quite a few in here if you wanted. I didn't have a fire because I didn't bring any wood with me. I wasn't planning on car camping. And then I finally was able to get this Dutch Fly by Dutchware gear installed on the end rings, the end loops of my tarp. Man, it just makes life so much easier. Check this out. Let's see if I can get this right. So I loop this line right around the hook, and then I tighten it as much as I want, and then I just swing it around like that, and then just pressure holds it in place. It's made of titanium, super light, and I can just leave it on my tarp. And then up here, I just have a loop in the end of the line. I go through it, and then it holds it tight, come down here, quickly swing it around, get it as tight as I want, and then if I want to adjust it, it's really easy to do. And I'm stoked I finally got them on there. Well, it turns out the Mirror Lake Highway is completely open, so I'm going over into to Evanston. I stopped here at the Upper Provo Falls overlook near the top. I've never seen it running this high before. Alright, so I am almost to the peak of the Mirror Lake Highway. I thought you guys might want to see what it looks like up here. Oh! It's not open all the way through. It's actually surprising. I would have thought if they'd gone to the peak, they would have gone all the way over a bit. Huh. Let's see what it looks like over here. And that's, is it Mount Baldy or Bald Mountain? Right there. Yep, Bald Mountain. Bald Mountain Pass. So I'm guessing, yeah, there it is. That's where it is closed right there. This is still really cool. I didn't think I'd be able to get up this far. These guys are getting serious. Going skiing. Alright. Pull it in here.